Hey guys, how are you? Good afternoon. What's going on? Let's see. Hey India, what's going on? I see we got some folks in the bushes. Go ahead, if you don't mind, hit the like button for me. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Let me handle some business real quick. Let me make sure we've got this. Just a second. Hey, pineapples. What's going on, sis? How are you? Okay, give me just a second. I was kind of ahead of myself and didn't handle some business. Just the details. And the details are always so important. So let me take care of that. Okay. All right, that's a detail. Okay, let's get into it really quick. You guys may or may not know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Someone doesn't know at this point. But yeah, Carlee Russell got charged, guys. Two criminal charges, both misdemeanors. I think they're class A misdemeanors. We're going to find out in just a second. We had gone to have kind of a brunch lunch. The brunch, we went for brunch, and as we were exiting the building, this happened. So let me get you guys up to speed. This is actually Carlee Russell's mugshot. So spoiler alert, sis was booked and has charges pending. So you know, look, it is what it is. I don't know if she thought it all the way out prior to it happening. But, unfortunately, sis is looking at having a criminal record, even though they're not, I don't want to say they're not severe. It's going to depend on how you look at it, but it is going to be something to follow her for a long time and is not a good look. Then I want to circle back to something that we looked at the other day. There was a timeline that we looked at, um, and it was giving us some information on her parents. And you know what? When I looked at it initially, um, I don't know. I guess it just didn't hit me right away. And I was thinking, like, I didn't realize. Okay, we're going to talk about it. But if you guys may or may not realize everything that's in this picture, and we're going to talk about it. Okay, this is Carlee, her dad, her mom, and her brother. Um, Interesting. I guess the one thing that did glare out at me was how much taller the son was than the father. Well, there's an explanation for that. And no big deal. I mean, it's 2023. I mean, families are comprised of lots of different, there's lots of different scenarios involved in our families today. But this family's getting dragged, and it's all because of Carlee. I would love to know what was behind all of this. I don't know if we ever will, but let's get into this real quick. Let's listen to the press conference. If they could throw the book at her, I almost believe that the police chief would not mind doing that, just from a standpoint of he seems quite annoyed. You guys tell me. He seems very annoyed at sis. Okay. Definitely not happy. Um, let's see. I don't want to cover the comments. So hopefully I've got that works right there. Okay, let's get into it.
All right, final mic check. All good? All right, 2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
So yeah, they she was booked and she was given a bond. The bond was paid and sis left. I think I have some footage of her leaving the police station. Let me see if I can find that while this is going on. Um okay. Yeah, well, this is going to be something that it may even, not that our justice system revolves around that, but this is something that I don't think her parents, they can help her to a certain point, but she's a 26-year-old woman. And also, we'll talk about that, but these people have grown children that live at the house. And I think they're going to try to push for her to get her full. 2 years, even if it's just a year. I think they're going and they run concurrent. If she gets her full 2 years, they may let her go sit somewhere for a minute, even if it's 90 days, even if it's a whole year, 2 years. I think they really, these folks want her to feel what they felt because people were having feelings of worry for her. And she took advantage of a lot of people's kindness. And her parents sat up there talking about she fought for her life. When did she fight for her life? Can you tell? Like, what? They did so much. So it's kind of like, uh-oh. Anyway, they're paying a lot of money now. It's a lot of embarrassment. It's a lot going on. So we're getting ready to get into it. Guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to
Good
subscribe
afternoon, everybody.
and
Welcome to the
hit your
Franklin and Barrett Field
notifications.
Training Center. I'm Captain Keith Sescaliba with the Hoover Police Department, and we're here today to provide you with the latest update in the Carlee Russell investigation. Joining me at the podium today will be Police Chief Nick Durzis, followed by Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall. Chief Durzis will make a prepared statement. After Chief Durzis' statement is over with, Attorney General Marshall will also offer a few comments. Once that is completed, both gentlemen will return to the podium and you guys will have an opportunity to ask questions. With that, I will turn it over to Chief Durzis.
Thank you, Captain. Good afternoon. Earlier today, Hoover Police detectives obtained warrants for the arrest of Carlee Russell through the Hoover Municipal Court for her actions related to faking her kidnapping and subsequently making false statements to detectives as they investigated this case. Her decisions that night created panic and alarm for the citizens of our city and even across the nation as the concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose using a small child as bait. Numerous law enforcement agencies, both local and federal, began working tirelessly not only to bring Carlee home to her family, a located kidnapper that we know now never existed. Many private citizens volunteered their time and energy into looking for a potential kidnapping victim that we know now was never in any danger. This story opened wounds for families whose loved ones really were victims of kidnappings, some of which even helped organize searches in hopes they could find Carlee's alive so her family would not experience the pain and suffering that they felt when their loved ones never returned home. As we know, actions can have consequences, and that's why we're here today. This afternoon, Carlee Russell, with the assistance of her attorney, turned herself into the Hoover City Jail, where she was arrested for the following charges: false reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor, $1,000 bond; falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond. Each of these charges carry up to a year in jail and potential fine of $6,000 upon conviction. Ms. Russell was released from jail after posting bond. We initially presented this case to District Attorney Lanice Washington, who agreed to handle prosecution through district court. After consulting with the Circuit Court of Jefferson County Bessemer Division, the case was referred back to municipal court for charging because the only applicable charges were misdemeanors. Judging from the amount of phone calls and emails that we've received from people all over the country, I know many are shocked and appalled that Ms. Russell is only being charged with 2 misdemeanors, despite all the panic and disruption her actions caused. Let me assure you, I too share the same frustration. But existing laws only allow the charges that were filed to be filed. I can tell you that I will be contacting our state legislatures on behalf of law enforcement in Montgomery and asking them to look at this law applied to these facts and urge them to add an enhancement to current legislation when somebody falsely reports kidnapping or another violent crime. Because of the attention this case has garnered, we've requested Attorney General Steve Marshall's office adopt this case, and they've agreed to do so. The Hoover Police Department wants to thank everyone that assisted us from the beginning and continues to assist us in this case as we work its way through the criminal justice system. Joining me at the podium today is State of Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall.
Thank you, Chief. Let me begin by commending Hoover Police Department Chief Durzis for his leadership in this investigation. Obviously, This captured many's attention as a result of not only the allegations themselves, but also the concern about a possible victim in being able to return her home. The work that was done by the Hoover Police Department was monumental in its lift, and the results of that work you are seeing come to fruition today with the charges that have been levied. I also want to commend the many other men and women of both state and federal law enforcement for their work collaboratively with the Hoover Police Department in assisting in this investigation. Chief, appreciate the opportunity to be able to partner with you in this prosecution. We will dedicate a team to be able to help the city of Hoover in handling these two individual charges and look forward to bringing this case to fruition. One thing I would add is that we don't see this as a victimless crime. There are significant hours spent, resources expended as a result of this investigation. And not only that, but the many men and women who are civilians that wore those yellow vests on a hot afternoon and evening looking for someone they thought was abducted, trying to be of assistance. We intend to fully prosecute this case and look forward to working with the Hoover Police Department moving forward. We also would tell you that we will continue to monitor this investigation to determine whether or not there are any additional charges that need to be brought, and we'll evaluate those as the facts are presented.
All right, this time we'll open the floor to questions. If you'll please raise your hand and identify yourself and your affiliation when I call on you.
I'm CBS 42. This question for Mr. Attorney General. What is it about this case
to the level to where it was a case that you wanted to take on?
Well, we handle cases across the state. We have jurisdiction throughout for both misdemeanors and felonies. And when Chief Durgis asked for our assistance, we were more than happy to be able to assist.
Is it common for you all to be involved in misdemeanors like a case like this?
It's not uncommon.
Right here.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610, 100.1 FM, Summit Media. Chief, this question is for you.
Yes.
What time was Carlee arrested with her attorney, and has she made bail?
She has. She was processed in our facility within the past hour.
Do you expect any charges to be forthcoming with her parents, or is this just all on Carlee at this point?
At this point, and again, I think anything is, all as the Attorney General said, their team will also be searching through our files, and we'll find out what they say.
Carol.
Carol Robinson with AL.com. Have you, since we spoke last in the press conference, been able to retrace where she was during the 49 hours she was missing, and have you determined if she was with anyone else during that time?
We have not found anything out on either one of your two questions.
Right here.
Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 News. Has there been any decision about a possible civil suit against Carlee and or her family? Also, what impact would this have on Hoover Police Department filing a suit have on the criminal case as well?
Yeah, we have not discussed that. Of course, we talked about the hours of overtime and all the significant resources that we used. And we'll certainly be talking to the Attorney General's office about possibly getting some of those funds returned to us.
Lisa Crane, WBTN 13. In an earlier press conference, she outlined some items she had taken from her employer. Any potential theft charges for that?
Those would have taken place in another jurisdiction, so we would not have charges ourselves.
Ashleen Robinson, WBRC. Chief, do you mind repeating those charges and fines one more time for us?
Sure. False reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor with $1,000 bond. Falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond.
Chief, I know you mentioned this the last time we were together. Just wondering if you have any update on an idea of the cost that the Hoover Police Department expended in those 48, 49 hours Carlee Russell was missing. And one final question, do you at this point have any more information if Carlee Russell acted alone or anyone helped her?
Yeah, we have not finished, obviously, the 49 hours. We've been certainly busy since her return, so I still don't have a total on that, and we don't have any idea where Carlee Russell was 49 hours.
Right here. Keith Mims, WAGG 610. Chief, let me ask you this. Going forward, there's been a lot of concern in the community as per young Black and brown females being reported missing. Would Hoover and other agencies have the same fervor going forward as they did with the case with Carlee Russell?
Absolutely. This, as I said initially, our focus was bringing Carlee home, and she got home. And then our focus has been to find out if there was a kidnapping. We find out there's not. We work every case like all other law enforcement does. So I don't have any concern anywhere that would be an issue.
And can I echo what Chief said? I've been in law enforcement for 27 years, law enforcement throughout this state. I've never seen anybody interested in the color of your skin in investigating a criminal case. And I expect, regardless of your gender, your race, when that report is filed, that Alabama law enforcement is going to do its job.
Valerie, 33 state when she arrived to the jail today, and is she seeking any help at this point in time?
I was not there, so I really can't tell you exactly, and I really don't know anything else.
All right, next question.
J. Robinson, WBRC Chief. What are next steps after this? What is going to happen next?
Well, right now, the Attorney General's office attorneys will start dealing with our detectives and going through case files and preparing prosecution, I presume.
Thank you guys very much.
Will y'all be releasing a mugshot?
Yes, we will momentarily.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I didn't have my mic on, but in any case, I think hopefully you guys saw that. Hold on a second. She's not getting off. She could go to prison for 2 years. It's a 2 years. I don't know. I don't think that there's enough law out here, and you can't write a law for someone. You can write a law maybe in spite of someone. So right now, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that there hadn't been hoaxes before, but the world maybe wasn't the place the world is now. And people have little to no appetite for this type of foolishness. But the attorney general said that they are going to prosecute her to the fullest extent that they can. Look, certain type of criminal background will cost you a future, and people in her state will know her. She will be known by many. People are not quick to forget. I don't know. I mean, it's all in how you look at it. At the end of the day, she's going to be in her own personal hell for a very long time. And then also maybe not. Maybe she lacks self-awareness. Seems to be a pretty interesting family, to say the least. Hold on, let me get off of this screen. Okay. This seems to be a pretty interesting family. Where is that timeline that we looked at the other day? So this is what I know, based on a timeline that I saw. So Carlos, Talitha is so Talitha and Carlos were dating, and she was already a single mother. This her son, let me find my notes. I wasn't planning on doing this yet. So but she was a single mother. She'd already had her son, and she was dating Carlos. Her and Carlos had Carlee. A number of years later, it could be almost 10 to 12 years later, they finally got married. And they started this lifestyle. He started working for the bank in Wells Fargo. If you were here the other night, we were looking at a timeline. And when I went back to the timeline, I'm like, oh, okay. So she had her son, they were dating, they had Carlee, then they got married. And then it seemed like, according to the timeline of, her becoming a real estate agent, maybe they were somewhat of a young couple, because if you look at it, um, he's only 49. I think she's a little bit younger than him. And Carlee's 26. Her brother might be 28, 29. He's not married. He has a child with the girlfriend that she was conveniently on the phone with when she alleged that she saw the baby and the person who heard her scream. So, this family, I don't want to say that they're posing, but they appear to be this family that has it all together. And who has it all together? Everyone doesn't have it all together, but apparently this family, they are we're seeing one thing, and unfortunately for them, it's all coming apart on social media. And I would say it's to their own undoing. Carlee lives at home, the son lives at home. He's a father, they have a grandchild, they have a house, they have two adult children living in the home, and one of which is failing out of nursing school, one of which is a unmarried father of a child that does not live in their home. I don't know. These people are putting on a certain appearance, but kids make mistakes, but these are grown kids approaching 30 that probably need to grow up. So depending on what the outcome is of the legal situation, Carlee's going to have to do some growing up. And it's unfortunate. I don't want to say it's unfortunate for her. This might be what she needs, because if her parents aren't holding her accountable, it sounds like the state of Alabama is. So it's time for her to grow up. I don't know if it's getting off easy. Being arrested, I'm sure, is not pleasant. I've never been arrested before. I'm sure it's not pleasant. So if they took her through the paces, she had to get undressed, she had to be processed, fingerprinted, all of the things. She's got a mugshot out here that she decided to smile for. Okay. Um, she's going to have a criminal record. She is known across her state. I don't know if it's getting off easy. I don't know that she deserves like 25 years of hard labor either. She didn't kill anybody, but she should have to pay restitution, and her crime might include some restitution, and it could be a lot of restitution. Do you imagine being a person who works at a day spa or worked at a day spa, who is unemployed and may be unemployable, and you have a restitution bill that has to be paid or you will be locked up? It could be one of those things that if she makes a wrong step in one way or the other, she could end up getting more time. You never know. So I wouldn't want it, but I also wouldn't do it either. Let's see, attempting to keep up appearances. Under 21 are kids. I don't think she's a kid at all. She's a woman. I said they have kids. So most people don't refer to their kids as like, I've got a woman and a man living in my house. So when I referred to her as they've got grown kids, yeah, they have grown kids. She's not a grown kid to me. She's a woman. She's a 26-year-old woman with a bachelor's degree who just flunked out of nursing school, who committed a crime that she's going to have to pay for. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to have to see how the trial turns out. Um, I don't know how she could possibly put in anything other than a guilty plea. I'm going to be honest to you. Like, this is what I think. Based on the statement that her lawyer put out, and anyone who's a lawyer out here, whether you're in the chat or in the future listening to this, tell me if I'm wrong. Her attorney already put out a statement that there was no hoax, there was no this, there was no that. Hold on, let me pull the timeline. Let's look at this. There was no child, there was no side of the road, there was no this, there was no that, there was no. They've already admitted to everything. What is the defense? what is the point of even a trial? She's basically, they've got a document from her already admitting guilt. What is there to prove? So I think it's possible that they may have to just work something out. So I don't know and it could just be it could be, okay, we're going to sentence you. I'm sure she's going to have due process, but I'm just thinking ahead in terms of her lawyer basically putting in a statement admitting that everything was a hoax. So rather than the police having to prove this was a hoax, she admitted a statement stating it was a hoax, that there were lies. So if she pleads not guilty by reason of maybe some sort of medical issue at the time, I don't even know what would be a plausible excuse at this moment, but it's going to be interesting to see how it fleshes out. Um, I don't know if her parents are embarrassed. I'm going to be honest. I would be embarrassed. You would be embarrassed. Her parents got on NBC and said she fought for her life. They rode down to the damn Red Roof to go pick her up. Who's fighting for their life if she got picked up or if they knew that she was at the Red Roof Inn before the police were ever even contacted to go and find her at the Red Roof? How was she fighting for her life? How were they embarrassed? Because they were stupid? I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested to find out what these people, what the whole excuse is, because I just, I don't even buy that they're embarrassed. They're not embarrassed. They might be mad that they're having to write some checks for some expensive lawyers and having to handle this legal matter when these people are in the 50 bracket and would probably rather be investing in their retirement and paying off their house. Now they're paying and solidifying someone else's pockets. I'm telling you, I personally, being in this age group, and I had to take money from places and spaces, I would be pissed. And you would be moving and you would be getting a plan for your future, because I would be realizing that somehow we made some sort of a mistake by allowing this to go on too long. At a certain point, your kids need to start to live their life. If you're making a lifestyle choice and you want to live simpler and cheaper, then you go find yourself a simple and cheap apartment. You can't live here till 30. You know what I mean? You can live down the street, maybe we'll help you, but I don't know that I'm going to support someone living in the home who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because if you're living at the house and you're failing out of nursing school, what's the point in you living here? What are you focused on if not busting out nursing school so you can go ahead and move on with your future? It sounds like they have supported her in failing. She's living at the house. She's not even passing school. She's worried about a guy who's cheating on her with a stripper. Her priorities are all damn wrong. You're not focused on school. You're focused on the wrong type of guy. Yeah, her boyfriend's cute and everything, but looks like Tomar is living his life, and I don't blame him. Okay, I don't blame him because they're not engaged. Clearly, he's not interested in her in a future. He's dealing with lots of other women. And at the end of the day, she's letting this interrupt her lifestyle, which is nursing school. Okay. Now you are living at home. You are unemployed because you stole from your job. This is a mess. This is a mess to me. So I don't know if she's getting it easy right now. I think she deserves everything she's getting. The attorney general is interested in her case, and they're going to make sure that they prosecute her to the fullest extent of the law. She could spend a couple of years in jail. She very well could. So I don't think it's getting off easy. And I mean, keep in mind, she didn't chop somebody up, but this is a serious crime, and whatever the crime, the books, whatever it says on the books is what she should get. So I agree with that. If they need additional legislation because lawmakers didn't foresee people taking up the good people's time and the state's money to have people running around like chickens with their heads cut off because they have nothing better to do on a Friday night, then they need to handle that at the seat of legislation and pass some more laws that are more strict and have a little heavier weight to them to make people think twice before picking up the phone, calling 911 and wasting people's time and money. That's just what I think. So, um yeah, they're enablers. You can't stand, I'm sorry. Look, no offense to anybody. You can't stand here like you are black society and you got a whole son over here who is got a lady somewhere across town that you guys are saying my daughter-in-law, but that's his girlfriend who's got his baby over to her house. Okay? And then you got the daughter who's over here competing with a stripper for a boyfriend who's not even interested in you. Meanwhile, she's flunking out of college or she's flunking out of nursing school. Okay? It just seems like y'all were putting lipstick on kind of a little bit of a ratchet situation anyway and trying to fit in and trying to make it do what it do, and that's fine. But what you didn't plan on was that Carlee was going to get everyone's name drugged through the mud. Let's go through the timeline real quick and then but you guys mostly know it. July 11th and 13th, Carlee searches analyzed by the US Secret Service. You have to pay for an Amber Alert or search, or maybe it's do you. How to take money from a register without being caught. Birmingham bus station, one-way ticket to Birmingham, Taken the movie, maximum age for an Amber Alert. Other searches that police say shed light on her mental state, but will not release because that's probably going to be, that could be potentially part of her case. I don't know. Surveillance footage shows Carlee Russell concealed a bathrobe and toilet paper from her job at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Russell stopped to get food at the Colonnade. Russell went to Target, got snacks, then stayed in the parking lot for a few minutes. On the 13th at 9:34, Carlee calls 911, reports a male toddler in a t-shirt and a diaper walking on I-459. When she called 911, data shows she drove 600 yards at the length of 6 football fields while allegedly following a toddler along the interstate. Traffic camera footage was sent to the FBI and but has not been returned. There have been no other reports of a child along the interstate or of a missing child in the area. After the 911 call, Carlee Russell calls to family members and says she stopped to check on a toddler along the interstate. Family told investigators they lost contact with her, but the phone line remained open. Police arrived to the scene to find Carlee's car and personal belongings, but no sign of her or a toddler. The food items were also missing. I thought the food was in the car, but they're saying the food was missing. Girl, please tell me that that's not true. I thought the food was still in the car. I think the food items that were missing were the snacks she bought from Target, but the tzatziki's was still there. Local, state, and federal enforcement begin their 49-hour long search. On the 14th, family begins searching Hoover, met and asked people to join in. Angela Harris, the mother of Anaya Blanchard, leads the local search while Carlee Russell's parents begin searching in other southern states. 911 dispatch on the 15th, the afternoon of the 15th, received a call from the Red Roof Inn in Vestavia Hills that family members of Carlee Russell showed up. Family members told the person in the lobby that they received a call from Russell. When you see a call from Russell, hold on. When they received a call from Russell saying she was at the motel, police say there's no evidence that someone signing in under that name. I want to know, did the police ever get a call from the Russell family that they were en route to the Red Roof in Vestavia Hills or whatever, whatever? Okay. Was that ever a registered call? Um, July 15th, 10:44 p.m., her return, police receives a call from Carlee Russell, returned home on foot. Surveillance footage shows Russell walking down the sidewalk alone, before arriving home. Police responded to the scene to investigate, and medical professionals take Russell to UAB. Russell had a minor injury to her lip and $107 in her sock. No alcohol or drugs were in her system. Police obtained a statement from Russell. On the 15th statement from Carlee Russell, when Carlee Russell got out of the car to check on the top. Okay, the statement from Carlee Russell, when Carlee Russell got out of the car to check on the toddler, the man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. The man picked her up, took her over a fence, and the next thing she remembers was that she was in the back of an 18-wheeler. In the truck, there was a man with orange hair and a bald spot. That always kind of, oh, goodness. Russell reported also hearing a woman and a baby. Russell escaped the truck, but found herself. Can you guys read this? Russell escaped the truck, but found herself back in the car and taken to a house where she was undressed and possibly photographed. A woman fed her cheese and crackers and played with her hair. Girl, uh, sis might have been off her medication. I know some people don't have any sympathy for that, and I don't mean that that means that you don't get to pay for your crimes, but clearly something is wrong. Something is wrong with her. This story is absolutely ridiculous. Something is wrong, either from a standpoint of pathological liar, bipolar, personality disorder. Something is wrong with this girl. Something is definitely not right. She was able to escape and found herself running through the woods and near her home. She found herself, like, was she just outside of herself and all of a sudden, like, oh my God, how'd I get here? I'm running. That's whatever. Anyway, it's like the woman who was on the highway the other day, naked and shooting at cars. Did you guys see that? Something is wrong. Her attorney should know better. He's a former prosecutor and a judge. Why he would, like, you mean as far as giving the statement about her basically at her admission of guilt? Um, my kids have until 21 to do what they need to do as far as school. I agree. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's a big kick your butt out the door cuz my parents weren't that way, but I had a plan. You know what I mean? Like when I got back home, um I got a job, and within 9 months, 9 to 10 months, I was doing well on my job. I worked for a company. It was called National Office Supply. They got bought out by Staples. Um, they became basically a contract division of Staples. And I was promoted to a job. I applied for a job that was a on-site account specialist. And basically that job put me on site as an account rep at one of our biggest clients, working with one of the account executives. And that's the job that moved me to Charlotte. That's how I got down here from New Jersey. When they said, well, we have this position's in Charlotte, I was like, what? Where is that? I wouldn't say I never heard of North Carolina, but I'm a Jersey girl, and that's pretty much what I knew. New York and New Jersey. I'd lived in Texas, but I never thought of North Carolina a day in my life. And that's how I ended up here. That it was a good job, and it was a job for me to have my own apartment because apartments in New York and New Jersey were very expensive. And I knew based on the math that I could have my own place. I already had my own car, and I knew I could live independently with what I was making. And I left. I got the job, and Staples moved me. Um, and I had that job for 5 years. And then I started in recruiting. My next job after that, I started working for the company that eventually became Ronstad. I started working in staffing and became a staffing consultant, recruiter. And I've been doing human resources, recruiting, and agency work ever since. So That's some history you may not have wanted to know, but there it is. But yeah, that's how it happens for a lot of us, right? You get that job that leads to another job, and hello career, okay? Carlee better get on her shit, and her parents need to give her a big help by showing her the door. Okay. Okay. July 18th, exclusive interview with Carlee's parents. Talitha and Carlos Russell speak exclusively to the Today Show. You guys remember? Well, I think I deleted that picture. Oh, here it is. Talitha and Carlos Russell speak exclusively to the Today Show about the return of Carlee. They say they believe their daughter was abducted and that the police are looking for the abductor. The police note they're following up with everything Carlee Russell told them. Talitha Russell says that she went to hug her daughter when she first returned, but had to stand back because medical professionals had to work with her. Carlee Russell had to mentally and physically fight for her life. Talitha and Carlos say lies. Lies, 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 lies. July 19th, 2:30 p.m., Hoover police hold a press conference. The police reveal some of Carlee's search history before her disappearance. The police released the information from the initial statement from Carlee Russell. Police say 911 call from the report of the child along the interstate that includes Carlee Russell's voice. Police say they have requested to talk to Carlee Russell again, but have been denied. They say they are ready to talk to her when she is ready. Okay. Am I reading this wrong? Okay, no. Okay. Police. So this is okay. This was, I believe that this is the next police report. Okay, the 24th. Police read statement from Carlee Russell's lawyer. Statement reads that Carlee Russell never saw a child. There's the mugshot, guys. Today. This is today. Carlee was processed. She's booked on 2 misdemeanors. This is the mugshot. Police read statement from Carlee Russell's lawyer, Emery Anthony. The statement read that Carlee never saw a child. She was never kidnapped and did not leave the Hoover area. Police say they are looking into possible charges and will meet with her lawyer on Tuesday. Carlee Russell, this is the 28th, 1 p.m. Carlee Russell seen leaving her attorney's office in Birmingham. Carlee Russell charged with 2 misdemeanors, false reporting to the law enforcement, which is today. Okay. Carlee Russell was seen leaving her attorney's office in Birmingham. Carlee Russell charged with 2 misdemeanors, false reporting to law enforcement authorities and falsely reporting the incident. Carlee Russell booked and posted bond. Hoover Police Department holds news conference to announce charges. Uh-oh. Video unavailable. Playback on other websites have been disabled by the video owner. Oh, excuse. Okay. Ooh, okay. I don't know what that is. Hold on. I didn't know where it was taking me. Hold on. Oh, this is a news channel. Hold on a second. Okay, let's go. Girl, these days you click, I don't even want to talk about it. Girl. Uh, these days, these links, you just never know what's going to be like some sort of corn bomb. I'm not going to use the other word. But you guys know what I mean. So I wanted to be careful before I just clicked on something and didn't vet it first. Okay. Which we saw this a second ago. So you see Talitha in the pink jumpsuit. You see, what is her name? Lucky Malad. Malad. There's Carlee. There's Carlee in the black dress. Dad opening up the door in the F-150. Mom, where's mom? Mom already got into the jumpsuit. Okay. There are other things. There are other things that I would rather. There are 50 other things in the forefront of my mind that I would prefer to have the media out for, photographing me for, coming out of an attorney's office, like I just won the Mega Millions for $1 billion, and all of the things. I just signed some big huge contract. Your daughter getting criminal charges is not one of them that I'm going to show up in a pink jumpsuit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. A pink jumpsuit is not what I would be. Carlee, let's talk about the fashion for a second. Carlee, very appropriately, no makeup, no hair, very basic and very appropriate. Very serious about what's going on here. No makeup, no jewelry, just very, very basic and appropriate. Mom is over here in a damn jumpsuit. Okay. What is mom? Mom, y'all must not have anything better to spend your money on. You don't want to go to Cozumel? You weren't trying to go to maybe they've already been to Paris. This is and girl, they're spending some money on this. Okay? Anywho, um next time we meet, we're gonna pull up the timeline of Carlos and Talitha, look at that a little bit and see what else is going on. There's gonna be a little bit of lag in time in this because obviously court cases are not, put up next day. Um, but this will be coming up very soon, I'm sure, in the next, few months. I don't know what Portia is barking at. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, guys, sorry. But yeah, I think Carlee was definitely very much appropriate. I'm sure that they instructed her to not be too extra. Not saying that she is extra, but just, court appropriate, jailhouse appropriate, reporting for some sort of a charge. Um, the mother, I mean, she doesn't really have much to do with it at this point, other than the fact that they did tell us that Carlee had to fight for her life and she did believe that there was an abductor out there. What I want to know from the parents is, when did you realize that Carlee was lying? And it's, what's going to be unsatisfying for some of us who are watching this play out is the fact that since her lawyer already put out a statement, basically like admitting to it being a hoax, I don't know how much of a trial this is going to be. And if she's going to try for a plea of not guilty by whatever circumstances, but I'm not really sure that we're going to see something that's going to give us some satisfying information as to where were you, what were you doing, to the parents, when did you actually find out, did you lie to the people on the Today Show, did you lie to Anaya Blanchard's mother, like because I think that the lawyer putting out the statement admitting did a couple of things. One, put them in kind of a good faith, like, look, enough is enough. Enough with asking us about the lies and the stories. Let's just get this off the table. And also try to head off some of the questions, because none of the answers are going to make them look good. Everything is bad from here on out because they look like a family of liars. That's it. What I also want to know too, from the girlfriend, the baby mama of the brother, did you actually really hear her scream? Did she lie to you, or are you part of the story too? Like, did she lie to you? And how is, you know what I mean? Like, how has that affected your relationship since then? You know what I mean? And if she's like, well, she's got issues, so we just work with her. I love her anyway. Okay, then I can work with that. If it's no, not really. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to know. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. You know, today's my daughter's birthday. We had a nice brunch earlier. I've got to go run, pick up the cake and rest of birthday activities. You guys might see us live for like 15, 20 minutes at some point later. That's the beauty of having a Friday birthday. So we might later on come through, say hello, and I'll let you guys wish her happy birthday. But I thank all of you for all of the wonderful and beautiful birthday wishes for my lovely daughter, who is 12 years old on today, and we are celebrating and enjoying to the fullest and the utmost. And let me stop sharing the screen. Yes. So yeah, thank all of you for joining me. I don't know. Yeah, thank you so much, Bianca. Thank you. So yeah, that's where we're at. If anything else comes up, I'll let you know. um I did talk about Alicia Watts earlier on Love Lies and Lace Fronts. These dogs are driving me crazy. She's in the office with me and she clearly wants out. So let me hurry up. Um, Alicia Watts is here in Charlotte. She's a North Carolinian. Sis has been missing. Her boyfriend, who has a very checkered past, I'll say it like that, was found unresponsive in her Mercedes a day or two after she was last known, after she was last seen. She was supposed to be going to a comedy event. She never showed up, and her family is very worried. Sir is not talking. The police were at his house trying to get some answers. According to neighbors and onlookers, they were there for quite some time asking questions, all of the things. Um, this is a real missing persons case, and hopefully, sis is okay. And will be found alive. This is the kind of thing that Carlee Russell really needs to be aware of, that there are actually people out here fighting for their lives, who've been taken away from their families and are in danger. And this is what she pulled this is what she pulled people away from, the people who need to spend time actually working on these cases, and or just fabricating something to pull at people's heartstrings for whatever reason she did it. I don't know. But there's actually real people out here in suffering. And that's the shame part about Carlee Russell. So yeah. But if you guys are local or can share this story, please go ahead and share it. You can find it on Facebook and most of the details in the story I just published prior to this one, and it's in my Love Lies and Lace Fronts live from today. And we definitely will be talking more about that story too, because the search is, it's serious. It's like Alexis Ware, who's been missing now over a year, and we have not been able to find Alexis Ware. She's missing. Her vehicle was found in South Carolina. She was seen going from her home to Augusta, Georgia, and then back. And then her vehicle was found in the woods, and we've not seen her since. And she left behind two children, and she's missing. She's just missing. And left her home. She left her children. She left her vehicle. She left a successful business she had a hair business and an Instagram shop, all of the things. She was doing well for herself, and just vanished. So, anyway, guys, I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and we will be back on it very soon and whatever else is going on. And thank you to everyone for the birthday wishes for my daughter. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, Bianca, Tam, Mira. Thank you, India. Everyone who sent a birthday wish. I appreciate the well wishes and positive thoughts and prayer and all of that. 12 years old is a big age. She's so excited to turn 12. and very happy. She's having a wonderful day. She's taking a nap now. When we got back from lunch, she was like, I'm going to take a big nap. So she wanted to get herself all rested for later on. So, anyway, guys, you guys take care, and I will see you guys very soon. Comment down below if you have anything else for me. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.